Well, there it is, folks. I've been working on it for the last 3-4 months. Finally, going to have a full conversation of the old Weiss and the Weebland. So, what's everybody think? Today, I'm going to give you guys my perspective on this card game, give you a little bit more in-depth opinion on what the reason I've been kind of getting some pretty large positions and spending the last 3-4 months building these positions. So, for those of you not familiar, the old Weeb Life here, also known as Weiss Schwarz, it has a very popular, especially non-English variant, but the English side is a very weird little unique niche market. It really is. Obviously, the company that runs it operates in a very interesting print model, and they require stores to do a pre-order and tell the company how many boxes they want to print or reserve. Usually it's like, golly, I've seen as high as 4 months in advance. It's nuts. And I guess the company takes that data and they print literally that exact amount with maybe like a 1 or 2% buffer. It's kind of very interesting. Very opposite compared to the world of Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh!ing and poking your mom. Am I right, everybody? So overall, this is something I started following, and I started carrying the Weiss products about almost 2 years ago, and I would run little small sales to the patrons and just sell some. I even did a few box openings a long time ago, especially when they had some of those. Oh my god, it was my favorite set. Was it the Gurren Lagann set? No. I think it was a Persona set. It was like Persona 4 or 5. It was like, it was amazing. Oh my god. Because I was a huge fan of the video game franchise. Hold on. Shin Megami Tensei? I probably butchered that name. Anyways, so I really find it interesting how the company tries to make as much money as possible by only printing a very specific quantity to ensure whatever they pay for that's manufactured is sold. That was the first thing I really find to be interesting. Two, the fact that they have, when they make all these different IP agreements with all these different companies and animes and different, intellectual property kind of crossovers with all these different companies around the, how do I say it, around the world, or I guess it would be around the world. Whether it's a cheesy, bad-selling, underpowered set like Batman Ninja, or Adventure Time, or it's a very popular set like, with a very strong franchise and a video game franchise like Fate Grand Order. The old FGO world, man. There's a huge following to Fate Grand Order. I personally do not play the game. I've played the game. I have played it. I do not currently play it. I believe most people play it on the mobile phone, Android or the Apple Store kind of thing. But the Fate Grand Order has a very strong, loyal following on the market. So again, it's very cool to me when I see even like video game franchises that will have, not only like an anime or a show, but like a popular video game that will convert over to a Weeb Schwarz nice little product line. And then of course we've got some other ones where you have like and actually before this video ends, I'll do a little walk around. I'll grab the camera. We'll actually show you some of the cases up close so you can see some of the items in it. But like some of the recent ones on Magia, this is one of the newer released products, I believe. And there was actually an older, I believe it's not even the first. I think there's 2 or 3, because I have an older one, a pink box, the older version, which I believe was a year or 2 ago. I don't have as many of those left, but I don't know what collection those came from. But it's interesting how they're able to revisit certain IP brands and kind of make a new version of it. And there are a lot of players and collectors that only wait for specific sets or specific crossovers or specific themes to buy into a particular line. Obviously, you're going to have a very sought after. Anything with the large, curvaceous boob girls tends to be very, very sought after in the Weiss world. For example, the old Bunko Babe girls, the old Bunko girls. I don't even believe I have any of those boxes left. I sold those to patrons a long time ago at release, but that was a very popular product. And of course, there's like, I think it's like the Bang Dream girls. There's a couple. I know JoJo's a big one, and then a lot of the ReZero, the Memory Snows are always popular. Anyways, the point was, it's interesting how unique each product line is, how different it is. I find that really, really attractive as just a collector, as somebody who likes to just hold sealed product and different things like that. And I'll also go around in a second here when I grab the camera. What I really like too is when you order these things by the case and you get them, they usually give you a promotional item, which I always hope they do like the promo case card, but usually it's a playmat. And then many times they forget the playmats and you get no promo items, so it's not very reliable. Unfortunately, the company that's doing these type of things is not the most reliable on having a pattern consistency on things. So many times I may reserve, 500 boxes of the new Magia set, which is the purple bluish box here, and I may only end up getting, 150 or 250 of the 500 if there's an issue or a supply problem or something happens between now and that 4-month waiting period. But overall, I like how it's not really something they'll go back and make. There's no master sets. There's no, how do I say it? There's no real reprint style products of Weiss. There's no collector 20 different variants. Now, of course, there's a Weiss operates, at least from my perspective. And again, I'm not going to lie to you guys and try to act like I'm like a weeb pro here, where I'm like a master at playing the game. I literally know how to play the game, and I'm terrible at it, and I've never put time into building decks and tweaking deck techs, and that's just not. Again, same thing with Pokemon, same thing with Buddy Fight, same thing with Force of Will, Flesh and Blood Magic. I just don't have the time in my working schedule anymore. But I hope to resume that one day when I do retire in a few years. But overall, I really like how they do have those really high-end SP chase cards that are very, very sought after. Which brings me to an obvious conversation point where recently, it's been a very upsetting, I wouldn't even call it controversial, it's just been a very middle finger, how they kind of got rid of the, how do I say it? I guess just the gold signature, fancy custom signatures on the SP cards. And they're going to kind of do like a just template gold stamp. And it loses a little bit of its unique luster. And obviously the reason for this is going to be cost and timing and management and logistics behind the scene. Hopefully, if the game continues to do well, which it's been around for many years, and hopefully, if it can grow, not just sustain, it can kind of expand a little bit, similar to the Flesh and Blood, the Force of Will, the new up and coming the MetaZoo. Yu-Gi-Oh! Continues to boom. Final Fantasy's holding its own. Dragon Ball Super's holding its own. Digimon is coming out of the gate strong. As long as the product line does well and the card game continues to be successful, it will entice companies to put more resources and expand and make them fancier and add more little Easter eggs in the sets. And I hope that they will reconsider and eventually bring that back. But I think it was done right now because of a cost reason. It's strictly about the money. Do I think that's really going to have a negative long-term impact on the value of future sealed boxes or the cards within the set? As much as I hate to say this, no, I don't think it will. I think the up in arms and the frustration of the community and a lot of the feedback I saw is going to be short-lived. I don't see people getting excited about a new Persona set or a new, Bunko Babe Chick set or a new Bang Dream Girls or a Batman Ninja Superman crossover, whatever. I don't see people not buying an IP brand that they really like just because of one particular variable, like they cut costs on the signature. Well, it's irritating. I don't think is enough to actually stunt sales. Now, I'm sure there'll be some people out there or stores that'll kind of protest by not ordering or not, putting their wallet where their mouth is type thing. But I don't know if that's going to be impactful enough to really cause a difference on a very large company that kind of just does what they want. It is what it is. So that brings me to today. Obviously, I've spent the last 3-4 months trying to locate and acquire a lot of these, and it's been very challenging. As I started to dig down this rabbit hole, I realized more and more how ridiculously rare and how ridiculously low supply many of these sealed products are. I had no idea. If I had known that they were at this level of rarity, first of all, I would not have sold my Persona boxes and my Bunko Babes and all my other stuff years ago for the prices I sold them for. I didn't realize. I just never put the attention into it. It's my fault for not paying attention in putting really the focus that I should have into the products of Weiss. And I think that's on me. So obviously I'm kind of trying to play catch up and, and yes, I'll be honest, some of my favorite sets that I just really like the characters and some of the women and some of the theme and flavor and lore of certain ones. I don't want to name particular ones because I don't want to cause market reactions. I have actually gone out and bought SP cards for just myself. Especially even if the SP card's $100, $200, or $300, I have actually gone to the open market recently and bought some SP cards because I just thought they were really cool. And the fact I know they're unique, they're a very tough chase card to get, that's special. It has value. It's rare and special, and I like that kind of thing, you know. So, yeah, moving forward, I hope to continue. I don't know if this is really going to mean anything long-term for Weiss as a whole. Obviously, if I can get the word out there, and actually a lot of people watch this video, and more people try out the game and actually experience the art and the fun and the feel and all the different crossovers and IPs that they use, I really do encourage it. As with most games, I always tell everyone the same thing. Whether you're just a Magic fanboy like me, or a Pokemon, or even Weiss, or the up-and-coming new hot card games that are out and about, I mean, I encourage everyone to try it. I always think that's the key. And of course, for someone in my situation, I'm always looking for diversification to different product lines in different avenues of having fun. And, you know, I enjoy the stuff. It's a true passion. I really do it because I like the journey and the rush. And I think that has a very, very high value, almost into the priceless category, compared to just whether or not the box goes up in price. It's nice, and that makes me happy as something ages, that the people holding it or tying up their money are rewarded for doing that. But it doesn't always come true. I mean, you know, when I first started to acquire, actually, you know what? I think it's a good time. I'll just grab the camera. I'll walk around with you guys, and I'll kind of show you all, give you all some of my opinions. I don't think many people are probably watching this late in the video anyways. So let's take a look here. Oh, hang on. The camera's kind of stuck. Hold on. There we go. I got the camera. Okay. So let's go. Okay, so let's start with JoJo over here. So, for example, when I started getting the JoJo boxes here, God, it always gets me. The Made in Malaysia always catches me. I'm not used to seeing that from Magic or Pokemon box. You know, when I started getting JoJo boxes, these things were just... People are like, oh, they made too many of them. It's a weaker set, and it's not going to age well, and the boxes are $65 online. It's garbage. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take like 800 boxes, and I'll just sit on it. So, yeah. Right now, I think the open market, at least as of the filming of this video, which again, this video is being filmed, just so you guys know. By the time you watch, there's going to be a delay, especially with all the Magic and Flesh and Blood news coming out. So this video is being filmed at the beginning of, I don't know what today is, April 4th? 5th? 10th? I don't know when the video is. I can't remember. Maybe the 14th. I don't remember. So anyways... So that's the JoJo story there. So there's some more JoJo there. There's another row in between there. You guys can't really see it. So another one, a great example here is the Mob Psycho. Here's another great example. Arguably one of the weaker, not as desirable IP brands, and of course, not as desirable cards. Not as desirable power level, fun, blah, 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 whatever kind of direction you want to point. Again, whenever there's items, there's 2 rows of this right here, and then there's extra rows behind here. Whenever people start to comment things like that, that usually gets my attention, especially when people don't want them and they're selling in the 60s. That just cracks me up. Any really weak stuff like that is always usually gets a lot more attention to me. Now, this is one I think you guys will appreciate. So, okay. So, Konosuba here. Now, this is really interesting. The movie one, Legend of Crimson here. God's blessing on this wonderful world. I like that motto. So I have not actually seen this anime. I am not familiar with this particular one, but I do know this was one that even had a distributor contact me because there was extra product to this, because even another store who ordered some didn't even want to take their allocation because the product was so quote-unquote bad, the demand was so low, it's just not a good product, blah, blah, blah. So that really got my attention. So I definitely, not only did I take my position, but I took another 1 or 2 stores' positions on this product because of the negativity. Now this is the older Magya here, not the newer one, I believe. So this was one that I actually did have to pay a little bit more because this one was kind of already proven that it's a good product. There's not much to say. But this was an interesting one. Nazarek. So anyways, Tomb here. This one was actually an interesting story. This is a product that came out and was not well received on the sales side, on distribution and stores ordering and everything like that. This was, do we have any? Oh, here we go, hold on. So this was one that did not have as extreme of a positive response. I'll be honest with you, to be very honest, just kind of very blunt and cheesy about it. I actually just really like the art. I liked the art on that set, and I made the decision because I actually just thought it was such a cheap, underappreciated set that I thought it would age well. And I believe last time I checked, these did recover from like $60 to $100 a box. We'll see what happens long term. Anyway, ReZero sets, same thing. The Memory Snow, this is the Starting Life. Can you guys read that? Starting Life, Another World. This is, okay, here's some open ones down here. So this is they actually have some half box. Do I have some of those Memory Snow half ones? I don't know if I do. This was another one that, again, for some reason, I don't know why, but many stores will fire sell these things and just treat them like garbage. I'm still trying to figure out some of this Weiss stuff because there's just some things that are just really weird. Here's a Bang Dream. This is volume 2. So overall, that's all I really want to say. Let me find one other thing I'll show you. Hang on a second. I got it. Okay. So now I couldn't find it. So this one is another Memory Snow. This is the Frozen Bond. I believe these are half booster boxes. So now again, I'll be honest, one of the things that got me really excited about this product was it actually has a case bonus card, and they actually tell you on here. They don't do this very often, but they give you these little bonus case cards, and they don't do that. I wish they would. And these are the half boosters. So in the past, I haven't really dabbled in any of these half things, especially in the world of Buddy Fight and Card Fight Vanguard. But I've been trying to put a little bit more effort in learning more about these half ones recently. So I thought these were pretty interesting. I don't remember the price. I have to pull up my accounting and spreadsheets to see what the pricing was on the half ones. But I thought it was pretty interesting. So anyway, that's about the end of the video. I just mostly wanted to share with you guys. I thought you all would appreciate a little bit of Weiss and some of my thought process and what I kind of what I see coming here and kind of my perspective on the game. I just really don't think it's fully appreciated enough. That's all. Have a great day.